Hi, my name is Vishnu. I am a graffiti artist. I don't have any formal degree in arts. I have done my engineering. So I left my engineering to take up art as my career. I founded Kalakarah, a team of graffiti artists. So today I'm going to talk about why I left my engineering job to start Kalakarah and to follow my dreams. I hail from a very small place in Kerala. And I was very average in studies. So I did my engineering in 2010. I was a mechanical engineer. I finished, when I came out of college, I had 15 arrear papers. And it took me 1 year to complete those arrear papers. And then I struggled for 2 years to find a right job. I was doing some small jobs. And then finally, somehow I got into an MNC. In Bangalore, I got a job as a technical illustrator because I was good in sketching, the only thing which I was good in. So I got a job as a technical illustrator in one of the MNC companies in Bangalore. So I was happy, finally I have a decent job. But after a while, after working there for 1.5 years, I started prioritizing what I actually wanted to do. What do I want to become? So then I realized that I always wanted to become an artist. I wanted to become a painter. And I have this friend, Sri Kumar. He's a childhood friend of mine. So I called him, Srigu, and asked, Srigu, can we do something related to art? I want to leave my job. Can we become artists? Can we do something together? Then he was very realistic. He asked me questions like, what are we going to do? Are we going to paint portraits of people, sketch people's faces and sell them? How much can we earn? Can we earn a living out of that? So I didn't have answers to all those questions. I started calculating how much money we can earn in a month doing portraits. How many portraits, if you do it with a certain amount of detail, how much portraits can we make in a month's time? So I was literally had no answers to him. So then this thought of what exactly to do was running behind my mind. Everywhere and anywhere I go, this thought was behind my mind. And I started performing badly in my company. My manager started having one-to-one sessions. It didn't work. Then again, I went into a certain level of depression because I was thinking, every time I was thinking about this, I started taking so many leaves from from the company. And then that is when this moment happened. I would like to call this moment a God's gift moment or the eureka moment of my life. I was sitting in a room and this thought was again running in my mind. I was not listening to what is happening and the TV was playing. And that's when the famous architect Charles Correa's interview was playing. Interview was playing in TV because he had just passed and they were playing that as a tribute to him. So in that, I heard him saying that wall painting is a notion of architecture. So there are these instances where architecture can be corrected using wall painting. For example, if there is a lot of light coming from that part of the building, from a window, and there is no much happening here. So if we have an artist who can paint a street scene, for example, in this wall, we can balance all the tension which is coming from that side using this wall painting. So architecture can bring that balance using wall painting. This is what I heard. So I was like, okay, I got pumped up. I called Srigu and told that I know right now what to do. And I put down my papers. I didn't even serve the notice period. I only served for 10 days. I think the manager was happy about it because I was performing very badly. So then I went back to my hometown. I wanted to meet Srigu. Srigu at that time was doing a very small job. So I met him. My parents were super disappointed. I come from a very middle-class family. And my father has spent a part of his retirement amount to make me an engineer. This is in 2006. When I joined engineering, he has spent a lot of money. So he had that pressure. I had that pressure. My mom, whenever I met him, she started crying because you got a job and then you have left the job and come here. What are you going to do? She was asking, you were an engineer. Why do you want to become a painter? What will you become? This will not work out for you. She started crying. So somehow, I and Srigu, I met him, and then we decided to paint, give a trial. We decided to paint the front facade wall of my house. And then we took a printout, we used grid method to scale the printout onto the wall. This came out nice. The painting came out nice. So this was a painting we did, and even my disappointed parents liked it. Everyone who came told me that, oh, this has come out nice, it looks professional. That gave us some sort of energy to again do trials. We went inside my room and we started doing one murals. We will sketch one mural. When we get the confidence that we can do it, we will put the primer again the same day, because the next day the wall will be ready to try another painting. So like that we did for 6 months. We mastered so many styles, including realistic, graffiti, doodles, and so on. Within that 6 months, we mastered quite a lot of styles and we gained a lot of confidence. Then I came back to Bangalore. I had already left my job. Right now, I don't have any savings. I have already left my apartment because I couldn't afford it. I took a very small place. This is in Hoodie Circle, KR Puram, very near to the slum and very near to the railway track. I could hear the trains passing. And I was sitting there and waiting. I posted all the pictures on socials and I was waiting for some call to happen, but I didn't get calls for weeks. I was all alone. I became mentally frustrated because of the anxiety and the thoughts which was going on in my mind, that whether I will get a break, when will I get that first project. Then my cousin Jay, he helped me to find the first project. This was for his friend's mom. Auntie was a devotee of a goddess, and she wanted that goddess picture to be painted on her living room. So we went, me and Srigu, we finished the painting in 1 week's time, and we invited her to see the painting. She came, she had a look, she went inside to the puja room, she came up with a diya, and she did aarti in front of the painting we just finished. And that was an amazing moment, because we felt that the painting got life. That gave us a lot of mental and spiritual strength to move ahead. So that was a start. After that, we posted these pictures on socials, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, everywhere, and then we started getting calls. Midun and Arjun, again from the same town, joined us. They used to sketch when we were kids. We know that they sketch. They joined us for projects, and everything was going smooth for a few months. We were having some projects. But soon after a while, calls declined. We were not getting calls. And the leads which came, I couldn't convert. I was not able to convert. One main reason for that was that initially we were getting personal clients who had a picture of a painting. They wanted to replicate that painting on their wall. It's very easy. We can just go ahead and paint it. But then come clients who were corporates. So they had an idea in their mind, and they wanted to come up with real artworks, conceptualize and give them ideas. So I tried explaining them, we can do like this, we can do like that. Verbal explanation didn't work. Then I tried sketching on a paper and showing them. When I do meetings, I'll sketch and I show them, we can do this. But again, it doesn't look like a final painting. How do they imagine? And graffiti, one issue with graffiti is that it is often seen as a vandalism. Corporates don't want their walls to be, office walls to get spoiled. They wanted to understand what exactly is going to come. How do we conceptualize? This actually broke me. For the next 6 months, 4 of us, we were sitting idle with no projects. We look at each other's face, we play cards, we do sketches, we cook each other, we sleep together. But then there was no projects. We created that bond within us. Then one good thing about this, which I can relate, is that about leaving my job. If I would have not left that job, and if I have taken art as a part-time, I wouldn't have covered this area, this tough part. So now coming back, I have this mental pressure. There are these, not just I have left my job, I have made 3 other people to leave their job, spoil their lives. So that's when we thought we are anyway sitting idle. We decided to paint one of the walls in Koramangala, just a public wall. So yeah, this is the first street art. We just did it. And then this got featured. This got featured in BBC and so many other news channels. So seeing that, one client called. This is, again, an amazing moment in my life because, this is where if you persist and don't give up on something, life will teach you how to clear that roadblock. So this client called me. He has a picture of Steve Jobs in certain illustration style, a painting of Steve Jobs. And he wanted Albert Einstein's painting to be done in the same style. But he only has an Albert Einstein picture. He doesn't have the same illustration style. So he wanted me to create that. This guy has worked with Photoshop. And he told me that this can be done using Photoshop. I know. You try it and come back. And if you can do it, then it's all, ball is yours. Your cost is approved. You can just do it. So within 7 days, we learned Photoshop and we painted this mural. So that gave us a lot of energy to move ahead. We understood this idea worked. So then we posted pictures of this in socials. We started getting so many calls. And then we converted a lot of projects. And there was a time, with God's grace, projects overlapped. We couldn't take personal projects anymore. We tried focusing only on corporates. So that happened. And the big break happened in 2018, end of 2018. One guy from Instagram, he called me. He messaged me on Instagram saying, can you travel overseas for a project? I couldn't believe it because I thought initially it was a spam. So I said, yeah, I can travel. So then he emailed me the design of what he is looking at, along with the dimension of the wall, everything. Then I said, okay. I sent him the invoice. He transferred the funds. He sent us the tickets for the travel. Then he told me at the end, where we were about to board, he told me that you are traveling to Ethiopia. I forgot to mention that. We were traveling to Ethiopia. He told me that this is going to be inside the Prime Minister's residence of Ethiopia. So since it was a political ground at that time, he was not supposed to reveal it earlier until the project was confirmed. So we traveled. 4 of us traveled. 2 of us were traveling abroad for the first time, and 2 of us, that was their first flight ever. So it was like an amazing moment for us. We reached Ethiopia, and then we finished the painting in 12 days' time, and we even met the Prime Minister. We shook hands with the Prime Minister of Ethiopia. And Prime Minister of Ethiopia tweeted the pictures of our paintings the very next day. So we have finished almost hundreds of paintings in and around the country. We have, from realistic murals, we started doing hyper-realistic murals. From bigger clients than yesterday, we have much bigger clients today. So the challenge is ongoing. We have a lot of, intricacy level of painting that we were doing changed. So every day still is a struggle, but what matters truly for me was persistence. So I would like to tell you, everyone, whatever you are doing, hold on to it until your time comes. Thank you.